Hey John, how you doing, man? All right, so here's the audit. And the way that this audit is gonna work is I'm gonna run down everything, record the screens, and walk you through it. So that way we're looking at the same thing at the same time, but I get to comment on what's working well, what we can improve upon. So that way, with the fact that you said that your leads are about half of what they need to be right now, we can diagnose everything and figure out what really is going on. So this is your 40-point inspection for your car, but for your online presence. I'm going to walk through the overall experience from a potential customer on the website, how it looks, how it interacts, things like that. Then we're going to talk about SEO, how we're showing up in Google, things like that. Then I'm going to run down a bit of back-end analytics stuff, because candidly, that is truly what the squeeze point is on what's going on. So I'll walk you through that. A couple technical things. We'll end with social media, and then I'll show you what the website looks like on my phone and go from there. So let's start with the website from a laptop. So coming over, the very first thing is I like that you have a call to action on your website. A lot of contracting companies, they have a lot of stuff going on, but the fact that you have something to do right there is good. Get started now. It's inviting. I would say before we talk about clicking on that, the fact that you have your logo behind all this text, it kind of jumbles it up. The focal point of this should be the beautiful picture, not the logo, all right? So I would get rid of that logo behind the text. Come down, certified aquascape contractor. Being a certified aquascape contractor, while it's a great certification to have, and it shows that you know what you're doing, shows that you know what you're doing to you and other CACs. To the normal homeowner, this probably doesn't mean all that much because they don't really know what that is. Now, if Aquascape was a household name, this would be a completely different story, but being a CAC doesn't necessarily do a lot. So this is real estate that we could change for something else. All right, I would talk about, maybe how many ponds you've done, or something about like some sort of like catchy jingle that is very inviting. Having a certification up there like that, it's kind of like when Ford comes out and says, hey, we're the 2018 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Well, it seems like, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, they all win Motor Trend Truck of the Year. So I don't know how effective that really is anymore. So make this about the customers, less about certifications that you got. But that's, it's very minor. Come down, get started now. Great that you have this. It goes right to a consultation form saying, reach out, let's have a conversation so we can try to sell to you. The very first thing that when they come to the site and they see this, there is no shin-fu involved. There's no, let's talk about what you're looking to have done, none of this. It's more, let's just go right for the sale. And it's kind of like when you walk into a department store, and if within the first 5 steps of you walking in, a sales rep walks over and goes, can I help you with something? You're gonna go, whoa, back up, I'm just looking. Now, if you were to shin-fu them, get them through some pages about what you do, how you can help them, let them draw out their own pain, and then you hit them with a, let's talk. It's kind of like you spending 10 minutes looking around for certain things in that department store, and then a rep that notices you, kind of struggling a bit, walks up and says, can I help you with something? It's gonna be a very different story. So we'd wanna go ahead and get something that's more, let's give them something before we ask for something. And in this case, I would give them ways that we could help them, or at least, get them somewhere where they can help themselves. Come down. Koi ponds and water feature design, installation, and maintenance contractor serving these areas. This is great. It is basic, tells exactly what you do and where. Good for overall, knowing what's going on, good for SEO. The next thing is going to be ponds, pondless, fountainscapes maintenance. This is awesome. It just gives a brief recap of what the services are. So now they get to choose their own adventure. Do they want a pond? Do they want a pondless? Do they want a fountain? Or do they just want maintenance? So that's great. Scroll down. This is a bit jumbled. All right. The fact that this text, overlays with each other, and then this is just pretty, block text on top. It's just a lot going on. We'd want to break that up. Now, with this video right here, you have these massive earrings in the video, and I've personally never seen you wear them. So if this is something that you still wear a lot, then I say you're fine. But for me, it was distracting watching the video and watching you speak because I kept looking at your ears. So that's just kind of a tidbit about that. The actual text next to it, it says Modern Design serves these counties, and here's the services that we provide. While this helps with SEO, it's just a repeat of this. So it's kind of like you're now turning into a walking billboard for these are the areas that we service. Here's what we actually do. So it's a bit redundant. Come down. I like this. Send us a picture. This would be a great spot to leave this there. After the top call to action is something else, something not directly related to, let us sell to you. Come down. Again, this, Aquascape Pro, this probably doesn't mean too much to the normal person. So this is real estate that instead of showing Aquascape's logo, you could showcase some of your work. All right. The text right here, good for SEO, but it says things like the owner, John, is all about the art, and waterfalls and lighting are 99% art. Well, it's great that you're into this, but talk about how we can help the customers. What can we do? Where can we lead them on the website so that way they're guiding themselves? Let them buy, don't sell to them. So make this more about what we can do for them versus here's our passion ourselves. Come down a little bit. This is cluttered. There's no way around it. It's just a lot going on. A Facebook feed, then a map, and then send us pictures, and then all these listed out areas, which, if I click on one, it has nothing to do with Kingston. It just takes to the contact page. Farragut, same deal. So it's there for an SEO purpose, but it doesn't really do much. All right, people who may be in Farragut click a button, it sends them to the contact page. It's kind of misleading on what this is getting to. Come down a bit. This right here, click to set custom HTML. This is just an error on the website. This is something that you need to have deleted. And while it may not seem like a big deal, it's kind of like when you leave some homeowner's house. If you don't, power wash off their driveway and you leave it kind of muddy, it doesn't really have that much effect on the pond you put in their backyard. But an A job with a C cleanup is different than a C job with an A cleanup. All right, so little things here and there, but they do make a big difference. All right, so that's the home page. We're going to click on one more page, and we're going to talk about this spring maintenance page. And the reason we're doing this is because, first off, it's springtime, so spring maintenance is a big service for you. And secondly, I know we had discussed you ran some ads for AdWords and Facebook advertising, and I want to talk about how those tie into this page, assuming we were to run a campaign that is based around that. So first off, when you come spring and summer pond maintenance services, I'm good with that. Then the very first thing we do is jump back into the very cluttered nature of it. Phone number, other services right there, image, text, image, it's a lot, all right? White space on a website actually is pretty beneficial. So the white space gives it that Nordstrom's look. It's a bit quieter, more elegant, even a bit like mysterious. The simpler it can be, the better you're gonna be. So it's a ton of stuff going on. I like that you do have pictures. I would say if you could have a before and after what a cleaning entails, that would be fantastic, because now it's like showing on like a website, a bunch of really in shape people, but if they've been in shape their whole life, I'm not going to buy that certain supplement that they're selling because the people have always been in shape. But if you show what they were like before the supplement, that's the true effect. Come down. I like you have the form there. The form is pretty good. And then the video right there explaining, pond water treatments is good, but it's by Aquascape, not by John Adams. So with the girl that you're hiring, it would be great to actually have her shoot some stuff about pond water treatment so you can put that there. Come down. It's going into, after 20 years in the Knoxville, Maryville, Blount. I mean, it's repetitive. SEO, I get it, but from a user experience perspective, it's a lot. All right, also, we're showing all the water treatments. If you actually sell these products at like a store, this makes sense, but People don't really care about what products go in as long as they're natural and they work. All right. So yeah, again, it's cluttered at the bottom. Now, let's talk about how we were to run these if we're doing a paid ad. So when it comes to paid advertising on Google and Facebook, we need to send them somewhere. We need to say, hey, if you're searching for pond maintenance, come to this page. And then once they're on that page, we can tell Facebook, hey, Facebook, if somebody comes to this page, let's show them an ad. And then usually when that ad will then say, hey, let's send them back to a page, which a lot of times may be the same page. All right. It all depends on what we're trying to go for. But these pages, which is called a landing page, they need to be very simple. All right. Basic, nothing else going on, because the train of thought of the people are going to be pond maintenance company. Oh, wow. An ad popped up. Let me click on that. And then it comes right to something basic so they know what to do. All right. So this, from a landing page perspective, it's not necessarily super effective because there's too much going on. It's information overload. Keep it simple. All right. So I would say if I'm running a paid ad for Modern Design, we're going to create a separate page that is pretty much dedicated towards pond maintenance company. Let's just show them how we clean a pond, a couple befores and afters, and then a way to fill out a form, and that's it. All right. Not all these other options and bells and whistles. Keep it simple. So that's why I brought that up. That's the website as a whole. Let's talk about the SEO. Now, your SEO is, for the keywords that we're looking at, fantastic. All right. Which is what confused me at first, because when I ran the SEO report, I'm thinking, what am I going to tell John? Because he is number one or top 5 for so many different searches that make sense. I don't know what we can fix. So let me just walk you through this before I talk about what all this means. Pond maintenance company, Knoxville, Tennessee. That's the keyword. That's the location. You're number 2, below Thumbtack. When people see big name things like Thumbtack, DIY Network, they usually will skip down those and go right to the first real website that they see. Let's check out for pond maintenance. You're number 2. Koi pond maintenance. You're not on the first page. Let's just check second page really fast. Okay, second page, you're 1, 2, 3. You're like the entire second page. Pretty cool. Pond cleaning services, number 1. All right, so we're thinking this guy's killing it, and I'm like, what am I going to tell John, because he's killing it? And then you sent over your analytics, which shows me the back end of the website, and this is where the story is unfolding. I pull up your analytics. You're number 1 for all these different keywords that are relevant to what you want to be shown for, all that kind of stuff. You're getting 42 people to your website. This is last week, the 18th through the 24th. 42 people from a Google search or a Bing search or a Yahoo search came to your website. Now, what that means is you're most likely capturing people, if you think about this as a funnel. The top are the people that are just trying to figure out some stuff about ponds. They have no idea anything about it, just getting information. The bottom are the people that are ready to buy. Now, in this case, your keywords are all very heavy buying intent. Pond cleaning services, that shows that somebody wants a service to clean a pond. Pond maintenance company, they want a company that's going to come out and maintain their pond. Bottom of the funnel. So that means that these 42 people that are coming there, those are probably going to be bottom of the funnel people that are ready to buy. So on paper, that's a good thing, because these are people that, 42 people ready to buy, half of those should turn into leads. Now you got 21 leads in a week. But with a lack of a blog section, which is kind of how the website is, and you do have some blogs, but they could be set up in a much better manner. If I just pull over really fast, come over to blog, it's super text heavy, and you're in a visual industry. Just paragraph on paragraph. Imagine looking at this on your cell phone. That's kind of what is happening. All right. And then you scroll down. It's a lot of text. And then the next one is right there. What color is your water? You come down. Instead of breaking it out into individual pages so it's a bite-sized thing, they're all just stacked on top of each other. So the blogs don't really know what to do. You know, it's a lot. So you'd want to break this up. You'd want to break up all this crazy amount of text. This right here could probably be 4 paragraphs, so it's more bite-sized when someone's looking on their phone. So either way, you know, come back. You got people at the bottom of the funnel, but it only shows that 42 total people over the week are clicking. Let me show you Premier Ponds is just as a gauge. This is the same thing. Last week, 760 people. Candidly, it's not like we have 760 potential buyers in the DC area ready to buy. This could be people that are across the country, other contractors in our area, whatever. But the fact is that with the like 140 blogs that we've done in the past few years, this is how many people are finding our page. You have better overall rankings for pond maintenance company, pond maintenance this, pond construction, like stuff like that than we do, than Premier Ponds does. But the fact is that when people search for stuff about how much does this cost, how long does this take, show me a project profile of a pond cleaning in Baltimore, Maryland, we've got that stuff and that attracts people in. And then once they're on our site, they get to read all those blogs and you know, go down this sales funnel themselves by allowing them to build rapport with us by reading our blogs. So by the time that they call us up, a lot of them know the price. A lot of them know the guys. They, you know, Mike and Andrew, who are like the top foremen and co-owners of Premier Ponds, they are showing up on the job site saying, hey, I'm Mike, and the people know them because the culture and the voice and the videos and everything is on the website. All right, so not only does that help build rapport and people enjoy it, but it also attracts people to the site. All right, so take it last week. You know, I know we're in different areas, but we did research to see, are people in the Knoxville area even looking for this stuff? Because, you know, just because you have #1 for all this stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's customers for that. There are people out there looking for this stuff. They want this stuff, but we're only at the bottom of the funnel type of people. And then when they get on the site, there's no way for them to build rapport with you. So that truly, I'm going to go through a few more things. That is the issue. People are not clicking on your site when they're searching for stuff. Technical thing, site speed. Site speed is a ranking factor, what Google determines, you know, where you stand in Google searches. That's a part of it. You're at a 52 and a 46. That obviously doesn't look good. I think Premier Ponds is like high 70s. So what you're at is not the end of the world. They're pretty critical, so I wouldn't look too much into this as like, I got to fix that right now. But site speed will continue to grow as far as how important it is. So this is definitely something to keep on your radar. If you think about that, you know, a 40-point inspection on your car, which is what we're doing, this is kind of like saying, hey, right now your windshield wipers, they don't need to be replaced, but they will soon. So keep that in mind. All right. This is what happens when I search for modern design. This is what's popping up. See this link right here? It's a bit spammy looking. Modern design, aquascaping, -TN, you know, koi pond. It just doesn't look clean. We're going for clean. I'll show you Premiers, Premier Ponds, renovation, maintenance, construction, DC, and it says Maryland, Virginia. All right, pretty basic. That's our tagline. For you, it's that's what it is. So we'd want to clean it up a little bit. It's not that hard to do, but you just want it a bit more Nordstrom's-esque. All right, over on the right side. Oh, also with this, you definitely want to have what's called a site link. With Premier, you see how you have these 4 things show up. That's called a site link. It helps take up a lot more real estate of the page. So if somebody in this area is searching, in Maryland, searching for pond maintenance or whatever, and Premier shows up, this is up to Google to show it. But if you get these to show up, it shows, it takes up a lot more space, and it shows kind of your dominance in the area. It's fantastic to have. It didn't show up for you on this one, a previous one. I think 2 of them or 4 of them showed up, but you definitely want to make sure that stuff shows up. That's more of a Google has to determine it, and it's all how easy to use is your website and SEO. So that's something that you can't really just do right now, but by tweaking your website, you can help guide it in the right direction to have that shown. Over here, your Google page, when this pops up, people do look at these pictures. Right now, you've got 2. They're great pictures, but you got 2. You want to add more to this so that way people can look through your stuff if they're not on your website checking you out. All right, so you come over to Premiere. We've got a bunch of pictures up there by the owner, by other people, stuff like that, so they can go through it. So definitely get some more pictures up there because it's a very easy way to draw them into your site before they actually click on the website. Last thing, let's come over to your homepage or your Facebook page. You have 700 people that like it, pretty solid. Now, I would say from an overall perspective, you have some videos on here, not enough. We talked about videos before. You have a new videographer coming in. You want to get more videos because videos create engagement. All right. So you come down. Let's see. Pictures. Pictures are good too. Here's a video that you want. You were live. Had some good. Tristan Hunter did a beautiful job on our pond clean out on Thursday. That's a client saying that. How powerful do you think that is if they see someone like this? And I don't think Phyllis Walker commented that on anything else. Power of video is, the proof is in the pudding right there. So that is your website overall design on a laptop with some stuff about changing up that call to action so you let people guide themselves into it, and tweaking that maintenance page and the blog to make it a bit easier to understand. SEO, fantastic SEO for very specific keywords, and that's about it. Analytics, that's the reason that we're doing this. 42 people came to your site organically. 17 direct, which means they typed in your website. 10 social, which is Yelp, Facebook, whatever. Referral is going to be from another website. A little bit slow, not the end of the world. And then you want to make sure that you clean up what these they're called a title tag, what they look like, because people do look at that stuff before they click on it. So we're now going to run through it on mobile, see what the website looks like on mobile, and we'll go from there. Thanks. All right, John, so here is the mobile version. So let's go ahead and refresh this. Cool. So looks good, like nice and clean. The fact that this call to action button is right in the center, that's awesome. We just want to tweak on what that says. Let me see what the menu looks like. Menu looks good. Tap down. Cool. So the menu all looks good. Let's come down. I like this section right here about, the section we're talking about with the koi ponds, what you do, where you serve. Come down a little bit. I like all of this. It just, again, on mobile when they're scrolling, because people do scroll these days, they'll be able to stop and pick what they want. Now this section, which we talked about, is a bit cluttered on desktop. Again, it's cluttered here. So we'd want to go ahead and change that. All right. Again, it's just talking about what you do, where you do it, and that's it. Right here, a lot of block text just on mobile. It's kind of hard to see. We'd want to break that up. This section right of the Facebook, it gets stuck behind, or maybe it's not behind. I don't know. Either way, it's hard for me to scroll unless I then tap on the map. So that's what mobile looks like all in all. Pretty solid. Let me click the next button. Click it again. I don't know. The next button's not working. So I don't know what's up with that. If I click on, okay, there you go. So it took me a couple clicks to click on that. Maybe it's sensitive. Let me try. Okay, so the next button does seem like it goes somewhere, but when I tap it, it's not letting me go anywhere. So let me go ahead and, if I tap the take a pic, send it to, there's a certain spot on that I had to tap. It took me 3 or 4 tries. Here's the form. The form should just be right there. Maybe have some of your contact information at the top, but with this image and then this small text off to the side, it just looks a bit jumbled. Okay, now we're good. Cool. What am I interested in? Step 2, upload some photos. Okay. Open and detailed conversation. This is kind of cool. It's a different spin on it where they walk you through it, where it's like, okay, now give us your phone number because here's why. I like how that's set up. Best time to reach you, that's awesome. And you submit and you're good. So mobile looks pretty good. I like it. It's a bit cluttered with the text next to the images sometimes, especially on like a small screen like what I'm looking at on my iPhone. But all in all, I think it looks pretty solid. So hey, so thanks for checking that one out. What happened after the audit was sent over was John and I got on the phone, went through a bunch of different options as far as what he can do with getting a new website versus just blogging, how effective those are, what the price is, stuff like that. So that way, now that he knows some of the problems, we could talk about some of the solutions, what that process looks like, and what that costs. So I hope all this helped. This is definitely something that, candidly, a lot of business owners who are having some trouble with leads or trying to, get their foot in the door with new clients should definitely consider doing, just because, sometimes there's more than meets the eye on what the problems are. So hopefully you learn a couple things and, you take some stuff away. So give Full Sail a call or reach out to us and let us know, hey, this is something that we're looking to have done, because, maybe there is one little thing, just like with what we found with John on the back end of stuff, that could really, open those floodgates to allowing you to really get where you want to go. So thank you.